everyone, my name is Charlotte. I'm an interior designer and a student at the Humber Real Estate Salesperson Program. And thank you for joining my channel. In today's video, we will be looking at questions to ask a brokerage. We'll look at, what types of questions to ask, how to be best prepared to interview a brokerage. Remember, because you are interviewing them, they're not interviewing you. You want to come prepared to know how to choose a brokerage that's right for you and make sure you negotiate the terms that would best benefit you. So in this video, I will cover 3 general topics of what types of questions you should ask your brokerage. Okay, so training, about the brokerage and the services they provide. And yeah, let's jump right into the video. Okay, so the first type of question or the group of questions you should ask has to do with training, because as a new agent, you're obviously going to want to get trained at the best brokerage possible. And sometimes a brokerage that gives very, very good training might not have the best split. But yeah, you might want to make sure that you are getting trained adequately so you are prepared for this career. So one question that would be really helpful to ask in this interview is, do you have access to the broker of record, to a manager, or to a specific coach that can help you out as you are learning the ropes and even taking you through the first few transactions? The second question I would ask is, what kinds of training do they offer? Each brokerage will have a different training program, see how long their program is. And another good question to ask within this training is to ask, as you become more and more experienced, does the training also increase accordingly, or the types of training also adapt accordingly? Do you have training for more experienced realtors, or is the training only for beginners? And another thing you can also ask is, are there masterminds? Are there weekly calls? What sorts of training is it? Are they live trainings? Are they more textbook reading? How does it all work? The last thing you might want to ask, if you are interested in joining a team, the splits might be a little different, the training might be a little different, so make sure to ask about that as well. Now, let's look at the second topic that we want to ask in our interview, which is all about the brokerage. So how many realtors are in their office? Like, how many branches do they have? What are their standard operating procedures? Do you have to sign a contract? How long would the contract be? If you want to leave the brokerage, can you take your clients? Is there a minimum notice that you have to provide the brokerage before you leave? These sorts of things are super, super important to ask. If you join a team, do they have a contract? They might not have an answer for you if you're interviewing with a general manager, but yeah, it might depend on the team, but that's something you might be able to ask. Do you have to do floor time? Meaning, do you have to sit into the office and for a certain number of hours and take calls and do administrative work? Other things you probably want to ask is, if you are an investor or you have real estate yourself, what are the policies for disposing your own property? So if you sell your own property, or you sell a parent's property, a relative's property, a friend's property, is there a special rule around that? Do you still have the split commission with them? If not, what is the processing admin fee to do a close family member transaction or your own transaction? And then the third topic today are the services provided. So remember that when you join a brokerage, it's a win-win situation. They get a split of your sales, of your commission, but in turn, they have to offer something to you. So what services do they provide? So marketing is going to be one of your biggest expenses as a real estate agent. And so what does a brokerage do for you? Do they offer a CRM system, which is a customer relationship management system, and is a way to put in all of your emails and contact information and manage all of that? Do they offer Facebook ads? Do they offer administrative assistants who can handle paperwork and fill up the APSs for you? Do they provide business cards? Do they have a market? So some larger brokerages will have a marketing department that will have you design your business cards, your signs, or even print out brochures for you with a short time limit, or if you're on a time crunch, they will have in-house printers to do that for you. So that is an asset that you might want to think about. How and when is commission paid? What is the split? You definitely have to ask that. What are the desk fees? What's included in the desk fees? So some brokerages charge you a monthly desk fee that includes maybe, their CRM system, and there's a few things that the desk fee pays for. And sometimes if they're a branch of a larger brand of brokerage, they have to, part of that desk fee is a percentage that goes to the parent company or the main branch. Now, another thing you might want to ask is website. Do they provide you a website? So I believe that real estate websites, there are like a special kind of website called IDX, and on that syncs up with the MLS and allows people to search for listings like right from your website. Do they have that for you? Do you have to pay for that? DocuSign, that's another thing for e-signatures, super important these days. Do they offer that service to you? Is there a charge, or is that part of the desk fees? You definitely want to ask about all of that stuff, what services they offer to you, what's included, what's additional. So for example, they might include printing for certain brochures, but they might not include printing for, larger brochures. So by asking the right questions, you'll get to know this brokerage. You'll also get a feel for if you vibe with them, if you can see yourself working with them. Also gauge if they are very enthusiastic in responding to your questions, if they have a lot to add, versus if you feel like they're not so interested, you're leading the conversation versus they are leading the conversation. They don't seem as interested. That might not be a brokerage you want to work for. Another thing I haven't mentioned is the cap. Every brokerage has a cap, which is the amount in dollars that you have to pay them before either you have no more commission splits or your commission split goes up a new tier, which means you split less. So for example, some brokerages, if you might start off as a 70-30 split where you keep 70%, they keep 30%, and then maybe if you passed a certain threshold or cap, so let's just say if you pay them $16,000 out of the 30% that comes out of your sales commission, if that 30% has reached $16,000, you might move up to a new tier where now your split is 90-10. So now you get to keep 90% and give them 10%, or sometimes it's no more. Once you hit the cap, there's no more split, and all you have to do is pay a transaction fee, an administrative fee to do this transaction. And what I always do at the end of every interview is ask them to send you a sample of their contract. So even if you don't have to decide to go with them right now, right there and then, but get them to send you the contract so you can review all the information that was discussed, like all of the, the legalese, all of the important stuff. So you know what you're getting into, and you also have that as a reference to compare with other brokerages, other contracts, so you can make an informed decision. So that was a lot of information. I hope that was helpful to you. I hope that you will find a brokerage that you'll really enjoy working in, because they are critical to your success as a new agent. If you have any questions for me at all about choosing a brokerage, leave it in the comment section below. I'll try my best to get back to you. And that's it for today's video. Make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more real estate and design content. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.